I still remember the smell: burning metal, aviation fuel, ash, floating in the air like snowflakes of everything I'd spent my life working for. But I wasn't supposed to be there that night. According to the HOA, I was just Mark Lawrence, the quiet guy in the corner house with that ugly helicopter parked near his property. To them, I was a nuisance. They had no clue I was Homeland Security's tactical airlift director, or that the helicopter they set ablaze had saved 47 lives in the past year alone. Chapter 1: The Snowstorm Rescue. It all started last winter. A severe storm had hit the regional mountains. A school bus carrying children from a nearby town had slipped off an icy road and was teetering on a cliff. I received the crisis alert while I was at home. I didn't have time to drive to base, so I ran to my personal helicopter, a loaner authorized for emergency use, and took off directly from the open land behind my property. I rescued every child on that bus. The next morning, local news called me a hero. The HOA called me a violator. Private helicopters are not allowed to take off or land within community limits. It disrupts property value. Next time, call proper authorities. I was the authority, but I stayed calm. I paid fines, attended the HOA hearing. I even offered to coordinate a safety protocol with them for future emergencies. They laughed. To them, I wasn't a hero. I was that guy with loud rotors. Chapter 2: The Harassment over the next weeks. They sent me warning letters, 5 in total. They revoked my landscaping permission for a helipad that didn't exist. They even tried to license my dog for extreme barking. He barked twice that month. Then came Karen Myers, HOA president. She knocked on my door one afternoon with a smug smile. "Mark, it's simple. If you want to live here, act normal. You don't get special treatment because you think you're someone important." I replied quietly, "I don't think I'm important. Those 45 kids do." She scoffed. Chapter 3: The Night of the Flames. A wildfire broke near our neighborhood. Winds were strong. Families were evacuating. Kids crying. Chaos everywhere. I knew that if it jumped the canyon, the entire community would go up. I grabbed my rescue gear and rushed toward my helicopter. But I was too late. It was already burning. Residents watched like it was a spectacle. Karen stood there with folded arms, legality in her tone. It was improperly parked. A fire hazard. We're just securing community welfare. The flames reflected in my eyes. That helicopter wasn't just metal. It was an extension of every life I swore to protect. The local fire crew arrived. Federal wildfire support was delayed by an hour due to the confusion around launch protocol. Homes burned. People got hurt. HOA blamed slow emergency response. They blamed me. Chapter 4: The Meeting. 3 days later, they summoned me for a disciplinary hearing. Karen sat at the head of the table. "Mark, we voted unanimously. You're fined $125,000 for property damage and unauthorized operations. Also, you must remove all aviation equipment from your property immediately." I stayed silent, took a deep breath. Then I placed my badge on the table. It read, "Mark A. Lawrence, Director of Tactical Airlift Operations, U.S. Department of Homeland Security." The room went dead silent. "You burned federal rescue equipment," I said calmly. "You obstructed an operation under the National Emergency Response Act. And because of your actions, 7 homes burned and 2 residents were hospitalized." Karen trembled. Someone whispered, "Oh my God." I continued, "I didn't bring this up earlier because ranks don't matter where humanity does. But you crossed a line, and now, national legal investigation will take it from here." Chapter 5: Consequences. The HOA was dissolved. Karen was convicted of interfering in federal emergency operations. The neighborhood was legally placed into emergency planning compliance. Residents wrote me apology letters, some in tears. And something extraordinary happened. The very land where the helicopter burned, it is now a community helipad and emergency response center, fully operational, coordinated by me and local authorities, funded by DHS, named Eagle Zone, in honor of those who once didn't understand. Final chapter: Redemption. Months later, another storm hit, worse than before. At 2:15 a.m., an elderly father had a heart attack, and emergency ground responders were stuck behind blocked ice roads. His daughter ran out into the snow screaming for help. I lifted off from the helipad, my new federal-grade rescue helicopter slicing through the air. Saved him. When I landed back, the community stood silently waiting. Karen's former VP said quietly, "Mark, I'm grateful. We all are." I nodded. "You don't have to thank me, just next time you see someone trying to help, don't burn their wings." Powerful ending message. Never judge someone by what you see on the surface. That quiet neighbor could be someone who saves lives. That loud helicopter may be the voice someone needs during their darkest hour. Rules have their place, but humanity must always come first, because sometimes the fire they light to destroy you becomes the fire that forges your purpose. Would you like 4 powerful image prompts for this story? Let me know. I can create cinematic scene prompts perfect for thumbnails or animation frames.